All right, so picture this. It's 5:30 a.m. and I am yearning for my first cup of coffee and willing myself to stay awake anyways. I had big plans to journal, meditate, clear my inbox, which already overflowing after I ignored it for the past 12 hours, and to work on a new chapter for my book before the kids wake up. So much for Zen morning rituals. Suddenly, my kiddo bursts into my office, a tornado of emotions. She's up way too early, hungry, and cranky. As I turn my attention to her abrupt story about the dream she just had, I glance at my marathon of a to-do list. My heart sinks. My husband left at the crack of dawn for PT, and I just remembered it's all on me today. I take a deep breath as I snuggle up my little one. I've totally got this. Maybe. Hopefully, the super mama cape I'm imagining will actually appear and give me magic powers. All right, so time to turn that mountain of tasks into manageable molehills. First up, breakfast and snuggles. Welcome to the world of a mompreneur. Your day is not typical by any means, and it's likely that your approach to productivity isn't either. So today we're talking about things that experts say to do for work-life productivity that I don't agree with, and how I tackle tasks instead. So spoiler alert, that morning that I just described was a real life example from my life a few years back. And 3 years ago, that would have brought my productivity to its knees. Fast forward to today, and my productivity is on point, so those tasks are about to get rocked. Without further ado, let's dive right in. I have the 3 productivity hacks I'm going to share with you. So productivity hack number 1 that I don't agree with is to turn off your phone or put it in another room. So little side note here, I could say that becoming an entrepreneur was a choice that I made to be available for my kids. But the truth is, it's not the reason I made that choice. I think it was always in the stars for me that I was destined to be an entrepreneur. That said, the reason that I chose to do it from home and in the way that I do is very much about being available for my kids. And along with that, I also have a number of friends who I'm an emergency contact for with the schools. When you're a military family, it's usually very common that it's your friends, not your family, who are your emergency contacts. And I wear that badge with honor. So in the school calls, I don't want them to get my voicemail. Now, on the topic of going against the grain and making yourself available, I remember the days when my husband was deployed and he called when he could, wasn't scheduled most of the time, and I was not going to miss that phone call. So you could probably say that turning off your phone or keeping it in another room just doesn't feel like an option that feels good to you, and I get that. So I'm going to offer you an alternative and help you to find a way that works for you and your unique set of circumstances. So some of the ways that you can still minimize the distractions that we have from technology without missing those really important phone calls is that you can put the phone on the other side of the room. So that's still going to alert you. You're still going to get those important phone calls. But what you're not doing is picking up your phone out of habit every few minutes, which then of course leads to absentmindedly scrolling social media. And before you know it, you're down a rabbit hole and you've lost an hour of your day. Another thing that you can try is to set up your focus settings. So with how advanced phones are today, you can turn off certain distractions. You can minimize any number of things coming through, but allow certain things to come through. So for example, I have mine set up to allow my kids and the schools that I'm an emergency contact for to come through at any time. Productivity hack number 2 that I don't agree with is to knock out the biggest task first. So this is actually a really great hack when you can make it work. But what happens when you don't make it work? Beat yourself up, throw the baby out with the bathwater and tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. The truth is that when I'm able to do it, I really do like this hack. But more often than not, I like to use something called a motivation loop. So what that looks like is doing a small task first. And this leads to increased motivation, which leads to more productivity. So it's this gorgeous cycle that keeps going and keeps going. And it keeps the momentum and the motivation going. So try it for yourself, starting with a little task that feels manageable. And when you've got the momentum, go for that bigger task. Now, before you dive straight into the bigger task, if necessary, break that down into pieces too to keep that momentum going. Productivity hack number 3 that I don't agree with is to follow a strict schedule, which is absolutely ridiculous coming from my mouth if you know me at all, because I am very regimented and I live by my schedule. But stick with me. As a woman with a zillion job titles, your days are so unpredictable. So instead of adhering to a strict schedule and stressing yourself out, adopt a more intuitive planning approach. So you prioritize your tasks, you still put them in your planner, but you leave space for changes and shifts. In other videos, I talk about how sometimes I get this blaze of inspiration and I'm going to run with that bad boy, no matter whether it's in my schedule or not, until it fizzles out, unless there's something that's absolutely pressing that I can't push aside other than that. So, fun fact, did you know that on average, mompreneurs work 112 hours a week? Okay, that's actually just all of our waking hours if we're sleeping an 8-hour night. But the truth is, it's probably not that far-fetched. We're working full-time, we're parenting full-time, we have this mega job, and we wonder why we need productivity hacks, right? All right, so now I want to hear from you. What productivity myths have you busted? Share your stories in the comments below. And if this video resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that is sure to empower you and understands your unique journey. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep redefining productivity on your terms.